Hey everyone, a little bit of a story time here. It's not really a fix, but I'll show you what I did. But let's get into the story. This is a 2003 Ford F-150. It's got a 5.4 liter V8 engine in it. This is the last year of this body style. I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's just childhood memories. I always kind of like these trucks. I know they're not the most heavy duty ones, and the body style after it, they really ramped up the towing capacity and the everything else in it. Engine was a little bit more powerful. It's like the 07 that we have now. But anyway, this one here, 2003, it's a two-wheel drive. It's not four-wheel drive. That's the only thing I didn't really like about it. But take a look at how clean this thing is. I mean, look at this. This is a clean truck. The story I heard behind this truck was it belonged to an older gentleman who took really good care of it, kept it in the garage, obviously, as you can see, and he passed away. His son inherited it and has been driving it ever since. Now, the story is, at least from what the mechanic shop that this guy took it to, was that, oh, the phaser went out or something happened with the timing chain's laying inside the engine's locked up. It's like $3,400 job or something like that. So they didn't want to put the money into it, and the guy who towed it gave me a call, and he said, or he talked to me in person rather, and he said, hey, you may want to check this truck out. We're only asking $500 for it. So I went back here and looked at it, and I'm like looking this car over like you would a rental. You know, I'm looking down the sides, looking for dents, dings, and there's nothing, with the exception of, like, I mean, there's like a little rust spot right here. And you go around and you look at the other side of the truck here. Where is it? It's on the back here, I think. There's like a little bit of something right here. But I mean, other than that, there's just nothing. This truck is like perfect. I mean, all four tires match. They're all Firestone tires. They're wearing properly. The tires look almost brand new. I mean, look at the tread on these tires. So I keep looking around. I'm like, I just can't find anything wrong with it. Can't find anything wrong with it. Take a look in the interior here. I mean, look at this truck. Look how clean this is. This is remarkable. It's impressive. Let's take a look and see how many miles are on the odometer. We got 183,000. The odometer, a little aftermarket head unit in there. It looks like it was done properly. Got power windows, door locks, all of which work quite well. And power windows. You know, all this stuff, it's just extremely clean. You can tell that somebody took really good care of this. The only problem we've got is just the engine won't crank. The engine sounds like it's locked up. Or is it? So, I'll show you this video clip here that I took when I first started looking at this truck, and it just sounded like it wasn't locked up. It sounded like it had to be something else. So here's a video clip I took, because I was the only one out here. I set my camera under the hood, and I tried to crank it a couple times, and then I watched the video very closely. So here's that video clip. Let me know if you guys see anything that looks a little weird. So without further ado, I got my little achy breaky bar out here, a little 1/2 inch, as you can see down there. I took the belt off because if you saw what I saw in the video, it almost looked like the AC compressor pulley was seized and not moving. You can see the tensioner there tightening up all the way, ratcheting all the way. So I thought, I wonder. So, sure enough, once I disconnected the belt, you guys ready for this? And it ran perfectly. I mean, there's no exhaust leaks, no clattering, no rattle. Sounds like maybe a little bit of piston slap, but what older V8 doesn't have that? I mean, listen to this thing. It's great. I looked underneath and there's no leaks. It looks fine. You see the belts off there, but the engine's still running. So, I'm really torn now. I'd love to have the truck for $500, but I would feel so guilty doing that. So, I called my wife. Actually, once again, she came over and we talked in person. And I told her, I said, man, I've got an opportunity to get this truck. They're only asking $500 for it. What do I do? You know, I want to take this thing right now and just throw an AC compressor on it and be done with it. But I told her I just don't think I'd be able to live with myself. Every time I'd get in this truck, there goes the hood. Every time I get in this truck, I would have to live with the fact that I knew that I kind of in a way took advantage of someone, even though I really didn't. I was offered the truck for $500, but deep down inside, I know that that's probably not the right thing to do. So I've got this internal struggle going on. I know what the right thing to do is. It's like I need some support. So I talked to my loving wife about it, and she, being the wonderful person that she is, convinces me to do the right thing like she always does. So I call the guy up who towed it, and I said, hey, I would love to take that truck for $500 right now. He says, okay, great. And I said, but I can't. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, I just don't think he should sell it for that price. And then I told him that I took the little breaker bar here and took the belt off, and the thing fired up and ran perfectly. He's like, wow, really? He's like, no way. The shop told him it was going to be like $3,400 and or like new engine type stuff, and they didn't want to put that money into it. I'm like, I don't blame him, but I'm telling you, man, while I was on the phone with him, I started it up and I ran it, and it ran perfectly. He's like, wow. So I missed out on a truck, but at the same time, I know I did the right thing. And of course, he was really grateful for it. You know, thanks for being so honest. The owners are going to be super happy. They're kind of in a financially tight situation right now. And they were super disappointed to see this truck that they had inherited and was now going to need an engine or a $3,400 repair job, and they weren't going to do it. So anyway, I felt really good about doing the right thing and knowing that just making someone's day like that. I mean, I put yourself in that kind of situation, maybe a field of expertise that I'm not heavily involved in. For example, the home AC went out in our house, and that's not something that I'm an expert in. So I'm thinking, oh, great, this is going to cost $700-800, $200 just to have someone look at it. And then my uncle tells me, just throw a capacitor in it. Here, I'll give you one. And he gave me the capacitor. So I paid nothing out of pocket to get that fixed. And that's how I'm pretty sure that's how this person who owns this truck felt once I found that out. So, you know, to all you mechanics out there are countless opportunities where we have to get a really good deal on a vehicle, because we know how these things work. We know what's going on with this thing. I knew when I tried to crank this engine and I looked at that video that something wasn't right. It sounded like it wanted to move, but it wasn't. So sure enough, I took the belt off, boom, starts up and runs perfect. Needs an AC compressor. So I could have really gotten a good deal on this, but I really am glad I did the right thing. So this is just an encouragement to all you guys out there. Do the right thing. You won't regret it. You may have an amazing opportunity like I had with this truck, but do the right thing. You know, it'll really be worth it in the long run. And the name that you build for yourself, that the reputation that you get from other people. No, I bet the guy thanked me probably 4 or 5 times for being honest and telling the truth. You know, he said, we mechanics already have a bad enough name for ourselves from people getting ripped off and taken advantage of. You know, and he's right. There's an unfortunate amount of people who get taken advantage of by mechanics because they don't know what's going on with their car, and the mechanic does. So that's the story for today. Not much of a repair. Again, all I did was take the belt off and that fixed it. You know, temporarily, obviously, we're going to have to put an AC compressor on it. But this is just a little motivational video for all of you out there to just do the right thing, be honest, and take others into consideration. Take your eyes off yourself and what you could get a good deal out of, and think about the situations of other people. I hope you found this video enjoyable, even though it really wasn't much of a fixing video. It was just kind of a story experience that I shared with you guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Stay honest, guys. Stay truthful. Think of others. Do what you can to help other people out. And I'll see you in the next video.